losing my hair, it was very stressful. It was very worrisome.
10 years ago, it just wasn't in the forefront of my mind. I expected something like that when I was like in my 70s or 80s. And to have it happen so soon, hair thinning was very much a shock.
You would see my scalp before using HairMax, and it was getting thinner and thinner, and not just in the front or in the sides, but also on the top right here. I was seeing scalp, and that was worrisome. I knew I had to do something.
Our hair, I think, can make the difference in looking our age or looking just a few years younger. And I opt for looking a few years younger for as long as I can get away with it. And the HairMax laser is definitely part of that routine.
When I first saw the results, I was shocked. I was happy, and it started to fill in. And that's what was so important, is that it actually worked and it filled in.
There's nothing to be scared of and everything to gain. It will change your life because it changed mine.
Well, that's pretty remarkable because I've not seen that video before, and I had no idea that the last woman in that video would say exactly what I said, that it will change your life. I know what it is like to get older and start looking in the mirror and going, wait, that's a little different. Wait, that's a little different. I mean, let's be honest, it's really no fun. But in many cases, some of those changes actually make you feel less like yourself, especially something that is so deeply tied in with our identity as our hair. We style it, we move it, it's part of our personality. And when it starts to change, or when it starts to be lost, then that can be actually emotionally impactful. Take a look, please, at a 26-week difference from the next item we're about to present. 26 weeks later, from something that takes 3 minutes to use and doesn't require ingesting anything or making an appointment or getting a prescription. This is for men and women. And where before we see quite a bit of scalp, in the after, that hair is coming back. This isn't about making your existing hair stronger, it's about regrowing hair. These are words that I say very cautiously and delicately because I'm not allowed to say them unless they're true. This is HairMax, and it isn't just a really great value today, it is a literal big deal. The price that you're seeing with the red slash through it is the price to which it will return in just a few days, if we have any remaining. Over half our quantity in our big deal have already been spoken for. You wear it like a headband, and in 3 minutes, it bathes your scalp in regenerative light to help encourage those follicles to do what they once did. It's $220 off with free shipping and handling. And while we know it's a leap of faith to make that kind of an investment, you've got a big safety net there because we're offering a 180-day return policy. That's 6 months. To use it, to see results, and to finally on the other side go, oh, I can't imagine myself living without it. Now, as important as this hour is to inform you and to answer your questions, it's also important to hear from you. If you or someone you know has had their life changed from HairMax, and I know you're out there because almost 250,000 HairMax devices have sold here at QVC, I need your phone call because you are going to help change lives as well. It's 1-800-395-1601. We'll put you on the air so that you can tell us your story. And until we get those calls, I have stories to share from not just the clinical director of research, which is a very important and significant title. He's a customer himself. His name is Randy Vilicki. And it's so great to see you again. How are you?
It's great. It's fantastic. Hi, everybody.
Happy summer. We've got
thank you.
like new adventures coming. Family reunions are coming, right? And photos are coming.
Photos are coming. Those cameras are out.
Cameras are out, right? And that's when I think a lot of us become more self-conscious. And whether it is, you know, the way it should be or not, this is a big part of our identity. And for those who see that that's becoming lost over time, it can be anxiety inducing, it can be depressing for some people, and it comes as a shock to a lot of folks that something as easy as putting on a headband can stop that in its tracks and reverse it.
And reverse it, and to grow that hair back. You know, HairMax has been around since the year 2000, and you know, since then we've conducted 9 different clinical studies. We just recently concluded a clinical study on this particular device, the LaserBand 41. And we'll get into the specifics of that study soon here, but I want to point out this is what's referred to as therapeutic light energy. You don't feel anything, right? Nope, not at all. It is therapeutic light energy that's just the right type of light energy that can stimulate and wake up sleeping hair follicles. As we age, those hair follicles, they get tired, they go to sleep. This is like coffee for your hair.
Ooh, I like that.
It wakes up those hair follicles and gets them growing again. And Jennifer, you're using it properly right there on your head. We've designed it to fit various head sizes. It's very, very flexible,
flexes.
as you can see. And it just holds to your head there. And it has these patented hair parting teeth that move the hair aside, let that light therapy get down to the scalp, down to the root of the problem, pun intended.
Ooh, you get only a handful of puns in these shows.
Okay, my last pun of the night, I promise. But down to the root of the problem, it stimulates those hair follicles to start growing again.
This is FDA cleared. I want to make sure this is very important that everybody, because I mean, like, look, I'm wearing it on my head, you're looking at it, it's a gadget, right? This is actually the first device that is FDA cleared and proven to promote hair growth in men and women with early to moderate hair loss. I'm looking down so I can read it specifically to make sure I tell you exactly how the FDA has cleared this. And that actually covers, and this may come as a shock to a lot of people, especially women, 80 million Americans, men and women. A large portion of those are women.
Actually, 30 million of those people are women. So if you're one of the 30 million women suffering from something referred to as female pattern hair loss or hereditary hormonal hair loss, this is your solution to help you regrow some of that lost hair. And even if you don't have some of the common indicators, maybe your ponytail's thicker.
Right.
Or thinner, actually.
Thinner.
I'm sorry, thinner. So remember in your 20s, you could barely get a rubber band around that ponytail, and as we age, those hairs fall out and they don't grow back in. You can see Jody's got it on her head here, and she's multitasking, right? We're all so busy. She uses hers in the morning to hold her hair back and to go ahead and put her makeup on, and it's just relaxing back there on the sofa. You can see there's no pain, no tingling, no heat, no warmth, just gentle therapeutic light therapy.
And every 30 seconds you get a little, you may hear some of them coming from our table. It goes zzz, like your toothbrush when you're 30 seconds in, and that will tell you to move it to the next section of hair, and in 3 minutes your treatment is done. Now we can sit here and talk about it, and we will, and hopefully you will when you call us, but the pictures speak for themselves. Oh my goodness.
Yes, look at those results.
Wow. And you got new photos since the last time I saw you.
Exactly. All new photos, all new clinical research, new stats, everything. That's why the LaserBand 41 hasn't been on for about 11 months now.
How do you look at this right here and go, I don't know. Like, this is, I don't.
And these photos were done by doctors in our clinical study. So it's not like, you know, they were done in our studios or anything like that. But look at the results. Look at that hairline. Look at the part, especially toward the forehead, and see how it's thicker and growing thicker by the month. This can actually stimulate those hair follicles and get them to grow again. It works on the front of the scalp that we see here. Look at all of that new hair.
Track the hairline.
Hairline growing in.
Track the hair, like the hair itself looks longer, but look at the hairline in the before and how it has crept forward in the after. That's just 26 weeks.
And it works fantastic in the crown section as well. So no matter if you're losing it in the frontal spot, the crown, the top, anywhere, it is going to be fine. This is Vito here, and you can see Vito's having very, very good results. He's got that crown filling in. And ladies, you know what, help your gentleman out. He can't see back there. He can't tell if he's losing his hair. Look back there and say, hey.
We'll talk about that, because that's kind of how you found out. Yeah.
That's how I found out. But look at the results Glenn has here. Again, right in that frontal area, all growing back. And you know what? You know what holiday's coming up? Father's Day.
Oh, I went straight to 4th of July. Skipped over.
No,
you're right.
Father's Day is here in June. So if you can't find a gift for that special man in your life, this is a perfect gift of love. Frank has great results. Look at his hairline along that side's growing back in. And I want to highlight, this is their hair growing back in. It's not a powder. It's not fake hair. It's their real hair. We've got a video that talks about how it works, because everyone always asks, Randy, how can light therapy grow hair? Think about photosynthesis in a plant. How a plant can take sunlight energy and turn it into hair growing energy. Well, we found the right type of light that your hair follicle likes, and it can take this HairMax light energy and turn it into hair growing energy. Time lapse, look at all of those sleeping follicles waking up and growing again.
Yeah, and that we have to show that to you in that video, because you will have no idea that that's happening. All you're doing is wearing a headband that feels like nothing. You see the light, but that light is essentially telling your hair follicles, telling your scalp to do what it did before. This, in all the claims and all the numbers and all the pictures that we show you, this is my #1 favorite number to share with you, because to me it seems a square inch is about the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah, about that big.
132 on average, some folks have more, 132 new hairs per square inch. How many postage stamps can you fit on your head? That's a fun activity for you tomorrow, right?
I can just see people, all the postage stamps on their head, right?
Honey, where are all the stamps? Okay.
Jennifer told me to do it.
Imagine for every one of those postage stamps, 132 new hairs. I joked with Randy the first time I presented with him, and I said, I think I'd be happy with 132 new hairs, period.
Right.
On my scalp. But that many per square inch, if that isn't worth 3 minutes a day for you. And by the way, those statistics are the same no matter which device we're showing to you, some of which cost over $1,000. But our price today, $328.98, also this just in, 12-month interest-free special financing if you are shopping with your Q card, that's about $30 a month. With free shipping and handling, 6 months to try it out. By the way, it only works if you use it, so 6 months doesn't mean sitting in your bathroom. It means you're actually using it, right? And we're going to talk about the protocol and how often you need to use it. It's all really good numbers, right? But for 6 months to try this out and see those kind of results, men and women, quick look at what you're getting here. This is real easy. I love that it comes in a real good presentation, to your point, Father's Day, birthday. By the way, this isn't just for one user, so if you pick it up for a family member, you're welcome to use it as well. You get the HairMax headband and you get the charging base, and that is all you need. I know you have a lot of questions, and we're going to sprinkle in some frequently asked ones in a little bit, but call us if you've used it or you know somebody who has at 1-800-395-1601. We have had 450,000 HairMax devices sold here at QVC. And thank you for doing that, because it is a literal button on the side
just tap
that
it.
starts the cycle.
Yep.
All right. And with that extended return, there's just no reason not to use it. And going back to the story that we were about to touch on there, it's like your discovery personally, right? And I love that you're willing to share.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
He's the clinical director, but he's a customer, too, for a reason.
Absolutely. So my early years with HairMax back in the early 2000s, you know, I had my son up on my shoulders. I was giving a piggyback ride. And, you know, he tapped me on the head. He said, "Hey, Dad, you're starting to look like Grandpa up here. You're losing your hair." Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I said, whoa. I said, get off my shoulders, first of all. Right? You're never getting a piggyback ride again.
And I'm calling Santa Claus because you're not getting any presents.
There you go. But you know what? He pointed it out, and I didn't know you can't see back there, right? Now I'm 63 years old, and I've got a great head of hair. I mean, look at this full, thick head of hair at 63. So, you know, I wanted to do something about it. So I was starting to work for the company. I said, hey, I got to try these things. I can't be the spokesperson and the director of clinical research if I started to look like my father. So immediately I started using the product, and wow, you see the results right here, right today.
Now, as much as we want to talk about how great it is and like who it's for, we also want to talk about maybe who it's not for, because the last thing we want to do is overpromise and underdeliver. But there's actually some really good news there too, because it's for most folks.
It's for the most common type of hair loss, which is referred to as female or male pattern hair loss. It's caused by hereditary or hormonal conditions. So a lot of women, when they get into that stage of menopause, that change in life, the change in their hormone balance, this can trigger this type of hair loss. If you're not sure, check with your doctor. If he says it's hereditary hormonal hair loss, female pattern hair loss, or the medical term is called androgenetic alopecia. Andro hormones, genetic is hereditary. But it's intended for the women with the blue sweaters across the middle, the moderate stages of hair loss. If you wait till you get to that bottom row, you've waited too long. So we talked about how the hair follicles are sleeping. So in the middle row, they're still sleeping. Down that bottom row, they've expired, and we can't bring them back. Let's take a look at the gentleman's chart. And like 30 million women suffer from this type of hair loss, by far the most popular type of hair loss, according to the American Academy of Dermatology. Look at the men. It's for the men in the blue sweaters, the receding hairline, the spot in the back. You see this every single day. Someone in your life is suffering from this type of hair loss right now and today. But again, don't wait until it gets to that bottom row, because once you get there, those hair follicles are deceased, they've expired, I can't grow them back. But also think about this, because this is hereditary, If a relative, a dad, an older sibling looks like that bottom row, it could be heading your way. Do something about it.